Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here.
And I'm Abe.
I'm Jay.
And Josh too.
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here. And welcome to the very first movie review I got for you guys in 2021. I hope you guys had a happy New Year's. I honestly did. Had a pretty good one. There were a few kind of off moments. But to be honest, 2020 was just an off year. We all made through this year, and yeah, last year was a really tough year for everyone. And I hope everyone's doing okay, but let's all hope for a better year this year. I didn't make a New Year's video yesterday, I was just so busy with stuff. Also too, before I get into the rest of this video, I would like to give you some updates on what I'm going to be doing in 2021, at least at the start of it. So, the first thing I'm going to do is, while I'm filming this review, you're seeing this will be the first video I'll do in 2021. Another update is, I'm still going to be trying to upload all the reviews I've done for the 31 Days of Halloween review series. I didn't got to it in time, so you will be seeing those in 2021 instead, as just normal review. I'll still put them in my 31 Days of Halloween 2020 playlist, because that's where they were meant to be, but you will see them being popped up this year. I still got quite a bit of horror movies to edit and upload for you guys. I'm also still going to tackle the 12 Days of Christmas. Yes, I'm making it 12 days instead of 25 like I mentioned in my previous video, mostly because it was just a busy month, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do a full 25, review 25 movies. So, you'll be seeing 12. I already reviewed one, which is, so the first video you're going to be seeing of that is my review of The Call of the Wild with Harrison Ford. The reason I placed that in my Christmas review series, well, because it has snow in it. The next is mine and Josh's review of the Black Christmas 2019 remake. That's going to be the next review you guys will see in terms of the Christmas stuff. So, and I do have some interesting thoughts on that one. So, and recently, me and Josh got HBO Max. We're going to be doing a lot of reviews of movies that are going to be released straight to HBO Max that are coming out in this year. That's going to premiere both in theaters and on HBO Max. So that includes films like Wonder Woman 1984, Godzilla vs. Kong, the Tom and Jerry movie, all this different stuff that you guys will see within this year. Also, I got an upcoming holiday haul video, which I'm going to be filming right after this review. I wanted to save that for once after I get everything from Halloween, because I got a lot of movies during that month. Birthday, because I have my birthday in November. Also, I did some Black Friday shopping. Christmas, I got a lot of stuff during Christmas. So you're going to see all of the stuff I got during all those times in a future video. I also got some upcoming rankings. I just filmed my ranking for the Indiana Jones franchise, which, yes, I did film my review of Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So you'll see those two reviews as well as my ranking. Also got other rankings too. I'm going to be ranking the Saw franchise, ranking the Spider-Man movies, just quite a bit of different stuff. Like, eventually, after I see more movies that came out last year, because I haven't seen that much, I'm going to me and Josh are going to do our top 5 or top 10 best movies of 2020 and our top 5 or top 10 worst movies of 2020. Also, me and Josh are going to be doing our our ranking of our most anticipated films of 2021. Me and Josh got our review of the live-action Mulan remake coming up. We just got so much stuff coming in for you guys this year. So, and hopefully once we get there's a vaccine out and everything, I'll be able to go back doing movies, actual movies. And we got a few planned in mind, one of which is a passion project for me and my friend Abe, who you've seen on the channel before. And that film, which I've already announced, is a Candyman fan film, which I'm going to be calling it Candyman Sweets to Sweets. And Abe is going to portray Candyman, and he is really excited about it. So I hope we can get that project done, and if so, I really hope you guys enjoy that film. But those are basically the current updates for this year on my channel. With that out of the way, let's get to my review. And the movie I got for you guys today is Wonder Woman from 2017.
When war ravaged the earth, the gods created us. I will fight for those who cannot fight for themselves.
Wonder Woman.
What are you?
You will soon find out.
Rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX 3D.
Wonder Woman stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pines, Connie Nielsen, Robin Wright, Danny Hudson, and is directed by Patty Jenkins. The plot of Wonder Woman is that Diana, Princess of the Amazons, ends up fighting alongside man in a war to end all wars. Diana will soon discover her full powers and her true destiny. Now, before I get even more into this review, I would like to say I never saw this movie. This was my first viewing. You know, I just don't have that much interest in the DC Cinematic Universe, mostly because the films I've seen of it weren't really that great. I've only seen Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, The Suicide Squad, which, ooh, yeah, I can't wait to talk about that one. And that's about it. So this is my fourth film I've seen of the DC Cinematic Universe. And I've seen a few other DC movies like Joker, I reviewed that. But outside of that, that's it in terms of most recent live action DC Cinematic Universe films. Preferably, I'm more, in terms of the movies, more of a Marvel fan, but, you know. So yeah, I just hadn't checked this movie out, but because me and Josh got HBO Max, I was like, you know, why not watch it and review it so that me and Josh could review Wonder Woman 1984. And I do got some thoughts, so let's get right into it. The biggest positive I have with this movie is the story. I really dug this story. You know, basically of this, you know, female warrior who's having to try to find her own identity and all that stuff. And, you know, it's a, if you think about it, it's almost a coming-of-age story for Diana. So, and I really like that. They didn't try to make her 100% like, even though they made her, you know, not that flawed of a character, I really did like, because in any other movie, I would have seen as lazy writing and all that stuff and just not relatable. But the way they presented Diana in this movie, she's curious. Which I really liked her curiosity, especially when she went into the world of man. So basically, like London and stuff like that, looking through, you know, just even she gets so excited over just even the littlest things because she's never seen any of this stuff before, and I really dug that. You know, I also liked all the other characters too. I liked Chris Pine's character, Steve Trevor. You know, the other men that accompany Steve and Diana. You know, I liked all of their camaraderie, actually, and some of them were really funny. I also did like the chemistry between Diana and Steve, their romantic chemistry, because it does bloom into a romantic one, and I thought they were just, like, it was just so sweet. They're just a sweet couple, I would say. Like, sweet movie couple. Actually, it feels natural. It's like a natural progression in terms of, like, you know, starting out as, like, helping each other out, friends, and then eventually, you know, having romantic feelings for one another. And it just felt more naturally done. And it didn't felt cheesy either. It didn't felt cheesy or corny. It felt like a real, really. Another thing I really liked, honestly, is I really dug the action sequences in this movie. Like the slow-mo, honestly, it didn't felt like a gimmick, you know. And it moved slow, but at the same time it moved fast. Like, I can't necessarily describe it, but it was just so fucking awesome. Actually, I really dug the action sequences in this movie. I had no complaint, really, with any of them in terms of how they were handled. I really liked the cinematography. I mean, watching it on my TV here in Man Cave, which is 4K, it looked amazing, actually. The bright, vivid colors, all that different stuff, just the sharp details, you know. Also, the sound quality was amazing on this movie. Which, speaking of which, another positive I have, I love the music in this movie composed. Like, the one that's composed. Sure, it comes off a bit generic, but it's an awesome generic pieces of music. Also, another positive is I like the acting in this movie. Again, I already talked about the characters and stuff like that, but I really dug the acting in this movie. I think the standouts for me in terms of acting-wise is definitely Gal Gadot. I thought she did an amazing job as Wonder Woman, actually. And I also liked Chris Pine in this movie. And just, I mean, there's so many good performances throughout this movie. Also, another positive I have too, in terms of like the story and that. So basically, this is another movie that is taking a kind of feminist approach, a female empowerment approach to their story. And I felt like they did it in a way that didn't felt preachy. It didn't, you know, it wasn't biased whatsoever. You know, it didn't trash men in any way. So I really dug that. You know, and it made the movie much more enjoyable. Whereas if it did all that other stuff I was saying, it probably would have, my rating for this film probably would have dropped. Because I really did when, you know, films do that. But honestly, I could keep on going on and on about positives, so let's just get right into my negatives. Unfortunately, I do have a few negatives here. And, well, just one really. So it's just one negative. And there's going to be spoilers for this, so if you do not want to be spoiled, here's the time code to skip to my rating. So let's get on with this. So the thing that honestly I didn't really care for, and I thought if they, like, because I didn't like the way they went here with the ending, mostly because I felt like it was kind of cheap, mostly. Everything else was great, but it's just this kind of bugged me. So basically, Diana's going after one of the gods, the god of war, Eris, and she thinks it's Danny Huston's character, Ludendorff, who is a non-general in that. So she kills him, and then she looks and it's like, nobody, like, because she thought if she killed Eris, then that means everybody would revert back to being kind, peaceful, and stuff like that. And she looks over and it's like, no, they're still going at it, and that, and she's like, how could this be, and all that. And Steve just says, oh, well, I don't know, maybe it's not just one person making everybody do this, you know? It's just what they believe in. It's who they are. And that, to me, I mean, if they just ended the film like that, had Diana kind of accept that, you know, there's just sometimes no one power, you know, controlling people, and that maybe just some people are just born to be evil, and that if they had gone with that, I think that would have been a really powerful statement, and, you know, kind of be like, but no, they didn't went that route. It turned out a character that we thought was a good guy is Eris, the god of war, and she fights him and all that stuff. Yeah, I didn't really care for that. I thought that was kind of a cheap cop-out. It kind of made the film a little bit weaker in that regard. But honestly, for me, that's it with my negatives. So with that said, I'm going to give Wonder Woman a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Honestly, for me, this is a really great movie. I fucking love this movie. You know, I only had one real issue with this movie. But even with that, it doesn't ruin the movie for me 100%. Maybe like about 98% it ruins the movie. But that's just a small percentage. You know, and I'm just amazed by this movie. The fact, so yeah, and I really like films that do this in terms of getting, you know, commentary across and stuff like that. That's when I think commentary in film works the best, when it comes through an unbiased lens. You know, it doesn't try to trash a certain percentage of its audience and all that stuff. So it's like, Hollywood, make more films like this. Make more films like Wonder Woman. Make more films like The Invisible Man, which did a very similar thing. You know, just keep on making more films like this. And I think, you know, yeah, I just really loved this movie. It's probably my favorite film of the DC Cinematic Universe films so far. I'm not sure if Joker lies within that, it's kind of debated, but if Joker is a part of DC Cinematic Universe, then that'd be my favorite, and this would be a close second. But if not, then Wonder Woman definitely takes the cake. I highly recommend it to anybody who has not seen this movie yet. And also, if you're somebody who's been turned off by the DC Cinematic Universe because they've been mostly coming out with not great to shed content, I highly recommend it. That was one of the reasons I haven't watched it, because I just lost interest and thought they weren't making great content. But after this, I'm like, okay, so the people over at DC, if you're going to do a cinematic universe, make more films like Wonder Woman in terms of like how good they are. You will get much more of an audience, and eventually you may actually tie in terms of being as popular and big as the Marvel Cinematic Universe if you keep it like this. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys had a decent 2020. You know, I know it was tough for everybody, but we managed to get through it. And I hope we all have a great year. I hope that this year ends up being a much better year for everyone. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.